What happens when a beloved comedian's personal tragedy becomes the center of late-night television controversy? This story unfolds in one of the most tense and unforgettable moments in recent talk show history. Patton Oswalt, known for his wit and emotional depth, walked off the set of Jimmy Kimmel Live following an intense exchange that left the studio in stunned silence and sparked widespread discussion across the entertainment world. It began as a seemingly routine appearance to promote Oswalt's new comedy special. But from the start, things felt off. Behind the scenes, Oswalt's publicist had made it clear that the subject of his late wife, Michelle McNamara, was off-limits. However, producers had other plans, and Kimmel's opening monologue hinted at where things were headed. The moment Oswalt took his seat, the tension was thick. Kimmel, with his usual charismatic charm, welcomed him warmly but quickly shifted gears. "How are you holding up these days?" he asked. Oswalt, clearly cautious, responded graciously, hoping to steer the conversation back to lighter territory. Kimmel persisted. "You've found humor in such dark places," he said. "There's that hilarious bit about Michelle's medication." A broken bar. The audience, sensing the mood shift, fell quiet. Oswalt's smile faded. His reply was calm but firm. "That bit is part of my grieving process. It's not entertainment for late-night banter." Despite the warning, Kimmel pressed on, calling the material comedy gold and suggesting that if Oswalt talked about it on stage, it was fair game for discussion. Oswalt's demeanor changed. Gone was the light-hearted guest. In his place stood a grieving husband protecting the memory of his wife. His voice low, he said, "There's a difference between me choosing to share something, and you ambushing me with it." Kimmel continued to frame the moment as a debate about comedy, but Oswalt wasn't having it. He stood up, composed yet clearly struggling to contain his emotion. He spoke from the heart, describing the raw truth of grief, the daily struggle, the pain of explaining loss to a child, the act of transforming suffering into connection for others. Then came Kimmel's critical misstep. In an attempt to argue his point, he referred to Michelle as "your dead wife." The phrase hung in the air like a slap. Oswalt's face tightened, and his voice, steady but cold, cut through the silence. "You called her my dead wife, not Michelle McNamara, the writer, the mother, the advocate, just a dead wife." The room froze. For once, Kimmel looked shaken. But it was too late. The damage was done. Oswalt delivered a heartfelt monologue about who Michelle truly was and why he shared her story, and not for laughs, not for claps, but to honor her and help others feel less alone. Kimmel tried to regroup, offering a generic defense about comedy being rooted in pain, but Oswalt dismissed it. "This isn't about the philosophy of comedy. This is about respect." He laid bare the difference between using personal pain as a tool for empathy versus exploiting it for ratings. As Oswalt made his way off stage, he paused. "You know what the saddest part is, Jimmy? Michelle would have defended you. She always believed in giving people the benefit of the doubt even when they didn't deserve it." His words carried more than sorrow, they carried a lesson. Kimmel was left speechless. No clever retort, no comedic comeback, just silence. What began as a promotional segment became a defining moment for both men, one that revealed the cost of crossing personal boundaries and reminded everyone watching that behind every joke lies a story. And sometimes, that story deserves more than a punchline.